All right, everybody. Welcome back to the East Carolina JVILLE State Dynasty as season one has come to an end and we get the off season started. It is going to be a little long because we have to go through both the Pirates and the Gamecocks. But as you see here, starting with the Pirates, Javis Bond wants to transfer, and so does Poku. We're going to try and persuade him to stay. We don't persuade Javis Bond to stay, but we do get Poku, who is a potential starter at left tackle, to stay. As you see here, Brown Murray, Lempley, Gibson, Clark, Davis, Riddy Jr., they all want to transfer. Mostly all of them are due to playing style. We're going to try and get Brown Murray to stay. We're successful. I really have high hopes for Brown Murray, so I'm glad that he's staying. Lampley is another one we're going to try and get to stay. We failed to get Lampley to stay. He had a lot of potential at the defensive end spot, I should say. And let's see if we can get Clark to stay. We do get Clark to stay. I don't know if he'll start, but Gibson stays as well. He may be a starter for us. I think he actually seen the field a lot this season, but we're trying to get as many people to stay as possible, no matter what. We're still trying to build this team. We don't want guys to leave. As you can see here, Rajai Harris and Casey Kelly are both graduating. Jari Patterson, Winston Wright, we're losing pretty much all of our playmakers on offense, aside from Chase Sowell, as Javis Bond is choosing to transfer out. So that's tough. And then on defense, you see here Siobhan Revel, our best corner, is going to be leaving. Chad Stevens, our best defensive end, is leaving. McKinstry, another starter for us, is leaving. So we definitely got to get some things going there. Got to start rebuilding this roster. And let's go see what's going on here at JVILLE State, as we got a lot of guys who wants to lead the program here. Let's see. You got Jordan McCants. I definitely want to keep McCants. Let's see if we can get Osteen to stay. We can't get Osteen to stay. He's a starter on that offensive line. That sucks. As you see, Anwar Lewis is graduating. Clay Webb, who was big time, projected to go in the second round, he's leaving. I wonder what the story is and how he ended up at JVILLE State. We can't convince Latimer to stay, as he apparently doesn't like the way that we play defense, or our defensive setup here. Hell, one of our big time starters is leaving. McCray is leaving. My guy J. Rock Swain, my favorite name in the entire game, is leaving after I only got one season with it. Let's see if we can get Jordan McCants to stay. We do get Jordan McCants to stay, so that's big. I think he's a future playmaker at the wide receiver. Igbear, I'm gonna call him Igbear. He has potential. He's staying. Can't get Zach Washington to stay. Come on, Carter. We have the same name. Go ahead and stay. So let's see. We don't get Osteen to stay, but I'd say we did all right. We got on both sides, East Carolina in here with the Gamecocks. We did all right. We got a few guys to stay and a few guys left, but we'll just roll with the punches here. As you see, our quarterback has started to have second thoughts here, as he's starting to get high on the potential Turner, that is, I should say, is starting to get high, or more and more leaning toward transfer, which sucks. You see Revel went in round 5. It'd be cool if they had put the teams they went to, but I guess you really can't do that. But I mean, we don't even have an ability to really transfer them over to Madden anyway, so you might as well just, kind of make up a team. As you see us here, kind of going through the recruiting board and getting guys off, clearing it out. I really don't like to go through recruiting during the season, so you guys haven't really seen the guys that I've gotten, or I haven't really went over it. But it's just, when you have two teams that you're using, it becomes a little bit convoluted, and I don't want to be going through recruiting with two different teams throughout the season. As you know, I know a lot of you guys like to see that, but that's what this offseason is for. As you see, we're looking here to add some guys to the board potentially. We already got 32 guys on the board, but one thing I will say, and I think I touched on this, as you can see, we have a couple of recruits. One star there. We got Devin Hallman. We got Greg Lambeau, another one-star running back. We got Jeffrey, 3-star. We got Scruggs. It looks like Earl Walker is somebody I wanted to talk about. As we go through the board here, and we're going to start scheduling some visits. We're going to schedule Owen McSwirly. But Earl Walker is a 3-star gym linebacker who I think could maybe play for us right away. 3-star gym means he's translating to 4-star talent. So that's a huge get in my first recruiting class here for a team like JVILLE State. As we continue to look through here, Amir Alibi, we're going to go ahead and offer him, offer some guys we haven't offered. We're going to schedule Howden here. As right now, you see several 1-stars on the board, several 2-stars. Right now, we're taking what we can get. And I want it to be as realistic as possible. So I'm not going to sit here and try and finesse the system as you see a lot of these YouTubers do, who make content on how to finesse the system and stuff like that. No disrespect to them. That's great content that they put out, because there's a lot of people who like to do that. I used to be one of them years and years back in NCAA 14, but now to make it as realistic as possible, we're not going after 5 stars or 4 stars in this first year. We're going to keep it 1 and 2-star, 3-star if we can, because there's not a guarantee a lot of 3-stars even want to come here, as we offer Ashley Williams. A lot of these 3-stars, I'm not even bothering to scout. If you're a 3-star, you can come play at JVILLE State. It's that simple. And I don't mind building my team on transfers and junior college players. It's something I just absolutely don't mind doing, especially with a team like JVILLE State, who they just worked their way up to the Division I ranks here, or the FBS ranks, and we build it how we build it. If every single year that I'm here, I have to build it like that, I will. But I don't mind. I would love to have players come here that I can mold and build and coach into my own player from start to finish. But if I catch junior college players, or if I get junior transfers and stuff like that, we'll bring them in. We'll mold them to the best of our ability, get them in our system, and win some ball games. However, I have to win. I'm not, it's not some Dabo Sweeney stuff where it's like, oh, we're not using the transfer portal. And by the way, I love Dabo. He's one of my favorite coaches, but I don't agree with that take. And that goes for East Carolina as well. I'm not, opposed to taking in transfers or junior college players. East Carolina has been historically bad here in recent memory. I can't remember what the records have been, but I know they have not been a good team. As we take a look at the East Carolina recruiting board here, we're losing a lot of players to Liberty. Damn you, Liberty. But you see the guys that we have gotten here. Romel, a running back that you saw there, I think may be a future star for us. A 3-star recruit. But as stated here, I don't mind going after transfers and things like that. We can build like that. I don't care. We do what we got to do. And as I said, I want to stay with East Carolina. I may stay with them throughout the duration of the career, because I'm going to be doing some things going forward where I'm going to do some conference realigning and stuff like that. As I said, I want to create like sort of like this former
What you
old
got?
Big East conference, which used to be my second
Put that
favorite
back.
football conference after the Big 12 back when they were in existence. I loved watching the Big East play ball. I loved West Virginia with Pat White and Steve Slayton. I loved seeing the likes of Pitt with LaShawn McCoy back when they were in the Big East. I loved UConn at that time. Um, I think they had like Donald or something like that. I think was his name at running back. You had Rutgers who were really good at that time. Um, and South Florida, who after West Virginia was probably my second favorite team in that conference, who had some fun teams. I think it was like Matt Grothy at quarterback, and then you had PJ Daniels later on. Like it was fun, and I want to recreate that. And East Carolina actually played a lot of Big East teams, even though I don't believe they were ever in the Big East. But I want to recreate that and put East Carolina in that. Well, we're already here in the American, but I have plans for them right there. And as you see, we're continuing to just kind of go through and offer guys and recruit. I don't know why I'm scouting because if you're a 4 star, I'm gonna offer you a scholarship to come to East Carolina. If you're a 3 star, I'm gonna offer you a scholarship to come to East Carolina. We may not be as bad off as JVILLE State, but we do need a ton of help. We're building off of 7 wins, and that's huge for us. But the plan with JVILLE State is to stay for at least 5 years because the idea is to get my own players, my own talent in, and see by year 5 what the team looks like and to see if I can win on my own merits. And then after year 5, we can kind of see. It gets tough because you bring a lot of these players in, you fall in love with these players. No homo, pause. But you bring these players in and you mold them, you build them up, you give them numbers, change their gear, do all that. And especially once you start getting better and better recruits in, it's hard for you to want to leave these schools. So with JVILLE State, the plan is to leave and head to a bigger school. As I told you guys, I think that's what separates as we look at Bromell, that gym there,
Game or
3 star
stop.
gym running back that we got, who I think will be
All
the
you gotta
face
do
of
is say
this
stop
first recruiting
touching
class here at
that.
East
I'll just
Carolina.
start
But
touching my stuff.
uh, I kind of lost my train
Okay,
of thought there.
cut
But
it out.
the plan is to leave and take on some higher coaching opportunities. But I'm going to try and hold off leaving JVILLE State uh, until after year 5. So we'll see. Because certain schools might come up and I might leave early, but I don't know. As you see, we lost Hay there to Toledo. Gonna clear him off the board. And we're gonna look here. We're gonna schedule a visit for Colin Biggs. Even though he's a bust, I still think we might be able to find a spot for him right now. I'm not going to be too picky. As I said in this first class, I'm not being too picky on these recruits. Here later on, sure, we'll get a little bit more pickier as our team gets better. But right now, we don't have room to be picky here. As we go, we look and see if we have gotten any more guys signed. Doesn't really look like it. As Cherador here is a quarterback that could possibly start for us in the future. As far as his skills are concerned, he's not the greatest athlete, but he's a decent athlete. So we're going to try and get him in as we don't know the future at quarterback right now. We have Turner, but he didn't transfer this season, but this is his junior year. We don't know what next year will hold. I'm hoping he'll stay throughout his career. I don't see, I can see why a quarterback wouldn't want to play in this offense, but I don't see why a quarterback like him wouldn't want to play in this offense, as I feel like this offense kind of maximizes his skill set. But if he we still have him and we still have Smoot, but after that, the quarterback position is up in the air. So we kind of want to bring somebody in early on here. So we'll see here. We continue to sort through here. Maybe in the future here, if I can start getting more viewers and build my fan base here, we can have live stream off seasons like Mr. Hurricane does. Shout out to Mr. Hurricane, the OG. Um, he likes to do that. I'm not sure I would have that kind of time, but it would kind of be fun if I could make that happen. Not only time, but I record here at home. I have my children running around.
Down,
I go to
you
work
gonna get hurt,
almost
baby.
every day, so
Yeah.
that would be tough, but it'd be pretty cool. Maybe build it up enough. I won't have to go to work every day. Who knows? But we're gonna keep this recruiting train going here. I would really like more of these 3 stars. Evan Malcar.
That.
Can we get Camden Hardy? I didn't scout Camden Hardy, but as I said, we're gonna, he's a 2-star, but for something's telling me he might be able to be a future starter here. Well, I know he can. Like almost every single one of these guys I'm recruiting can be a starter for us here at Jack State. Come on, Evan Malcor. We're gonna give Crowell more points. We're gonna bump it up to 50. See if we can land him. I really want to land a lot more of these 3-stars for Jack State. See if we can build them up here. As we continue to go back and forth, and like I said, this is where it gets kind of, it gets a little convoluted here. We lost Pratt, as I have to jump back and forth here. But again, that's what kind of sets it apart here. We're going to give Alex Proctor 50 here. Let's check in on Colin Biggs. We're going to throw him 25. Lorenzo QT. We're going to throw him 50. Suggs, we're going to throw him 50. We pretty much have the room to kind of throw everybody 50 here. Did we have Demarius John? I think we just signed him. Another 3-star gem. Right guard, 80 pass block power, and as you know, we lean toward the pass here, so I am trying to get pass blockers, preferably on the offensive line. I really want agile offensive linemen. Like, if I have to pick between run block and pass block, though, I'm always going to pick pass block, and I'm not going to deny guys who want to come here. I'm not going to deny any offensive line archetype that wants to come here right now. In the future, we might start. We lost QT. In the future, we might start filtering out and not accepting like the run blockers. But I like agile linemen because they can do both. Typically, they can.
Go get you diaper.
As you look at our ratings for Jack State, they dropped significantly. I think we were like 76 across the board.
Yes.
We're 71 overall now.
Yes.
That's not good. Campbell Jr.
Spankos?
That's a deal breaker, but we're not going to take them off the board yet because you can still sign guys with deal breakers if they don't sign with anybody else. So we get DJ Davis, a 1-star running back. We get Doggett at defensive tackle, 3 stars from Pickerington, Ohio. We get Bryce Cowan, another 3-star linebacker. We get Evan Malcor, and we were after him pretty tough. And that is a nice haul here for Jack State. 3 stars here. We get a 1-star running back. I don't know what Davis will turn out to be, but with the offense we run, we do need help at the running back spot. We run the ball with 3 or 4 different backs, so we do need that help. And Cherador does not come here. We lose him to Temple, so we don't pick up, as you see, we picked up 3 running backs in this cycle so far, and we pick up 2 fullbacks. which fullback is an important
Open
role
that
in this
door.
offense as well. We lose Alibi to
Kaylee.
Temple. We lose Rivero to Mid Tennessee. Another loss to Charlotte. We lose Williams to Rice.
You better
We lose
piss me
Lynch
off.
to Cincinnati. Western Kentucky is going to take Joseph Williams to Florida State. Crowell. You see Joseph's up there on Western Kentucky. We'll get to him, but you see these 3 stars, and we get Campbell Jr., who's a 3-star running back as well. Let's get Joseph's off the board. But we have a nice haul here. Um, I'm not mad at this at all. A lot more 3-stars than I think I was expecting to get. Earl Walker, I still think is the star of this class, but I'm not mad at this. Let's go see what happened here at East Carolina. This is the moment of truth in the last week of recruiting here. Let's take a look. We lose Childress, but we get Campanero at the left guard spot. He's an agile lineman. We get Bohannon. We got Biggs, who, I said we could find a spot for here. We do not get McIntyre, who would have been a big get here. But you look at the class here, Jordan Phillips, he might be the cream of the crop here for this class. I know I talk about Romel, but look at Jordan Phillips, man. He's a transfer from, not sure where he transferred from, but he's a transfer sophomore. He's a big-time get. As you see, Penn State has the #1 recruiting class, followed by Michigan, followed by
Kaylee, come
Alabama.
here.
You have Texas in the top 25, Washington, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Stanford at 19, but so far it's pretty par for course
Stay
for
from
the top
down there.
25 as far as recruiting. I wouldn't expect Penn State to be #1, but they are.
Thought she came in here.
As we scroll through and see where we landed here. Well, we're not last at least, but East Carolina, we do finish 104. We only had 11 total recruits, so that had a lot to do with it.
Kaylee,
A
come
smaller
here.
recruiting class. And JVILLE State at 91 with 19 recruits. We had 10 3-stars, which I think is kind of a surprise, but I would say here, again, just looking through here, these are 2 solid recruiting classes. So we'll look at the positions here, maybe switch some guys around. But I'm not mad, I don't mind smaller recruiting classes as long as they're quality. And I do think here, this East Carolina class is quality. We only got 11 guys, but we got some good quality, I think. And I think with JVILLE State, it's more quantity, but there's a lot of quality in there with probably more 3-stars than JVILLE State has ever seen and may ever see in real life. As we look around here at some potential position changes for East Carolina. Linemen, usually I switch around, of course, athletes, but usually I tend to switch around offensive linemen, a lot, linebackers, safeties, corners. We do need a right tackle, as you can see, so we're gonna go over here to left tackle, and we're gonna switch Neolin to right tackle. Taking a look at the left guards, we're gonna see if we can maybe move someone else to right tackle, because there's no guarantee that Neolin will be suited for the starting position there, but for now, we'll leave it. Looking at the defensive line, again, that's another spot that I typically potentially move some guys around as Phillips comes in and is immediately light years ahead as the starter. And as a sophomore, he can still develop. You get a lot of these transfers in here, and I don't think juniors and seniors really develop anymore. When you get them as a transfer. I don't know. Somebody let me know if you know better than me, but I think sophomores and freshman transfers can still develop But I think after that they're kind of stuck or capped off. But I don't know. And maybe can juniors
You need to get off shorts.
potentially
Go to something you can actually just
um
watch.
can they potentially develop? I don't know. But I thought I seen that they're capped off, but maybe I'm wrong. As we will switch over here to JVILLE State and see what we can potentially switch around there.
I doubt it. Yes.
Let's see.
Bye bye. Bubba.
I'm gonna take a look at Smoot and just kind of see where he could. He's not. I'm not gonna be. Running backs, we can potentially switch some things around there. Got some fullbacks, receivers. Take a look here.
What you mean everybody want to take? What you mean everybody want to take some?
But again, offensive line, defensive line. Defensively, like offensively, I usually it's offensive line that I usually benefit from switching around. Defensively, defensive line, linebacker, corner, safeties, like you can potentially move around all sorts of positions on defense, which makes that kind of fun. I don't know why I think position switching or whatever is a good time, but kind of is, in my opinion. Um, so far, not really seeing a lot of guys that I want to move. And again, here on Jack State, defensively, we run more of a 4-man and 5-man front. Like, so we run a lot of 4-man fronts. We also run the 52 defense as well. So we like, over here, we're completely opposite from East Carolina. We like to have the traditional defensive linemen. We like to have the rush ends and the run stopping defensive tackles. And then we run with 3 linebackers, sometimes 4. And then a traditional 2x2 in the secondary. And on East Carolina, we run a 3-3-5 defense. So we're running with 5 defensive backs. We're running an untraditional front with 3 defensive linemen. We typically like for our defensive ends to be run stoppers and our defensive tackles to rush the quarterback. But as I like to see it, I don't mind having rush ends in a 3-3-5. Like, I don't know. I don't mind. Or at least have balanced where they can do a little bit of both. Because I don't want to blitz my linebackers all the time. But the linebackers in the 3-3-5, you know, they have to be able to do it all as well. As we're going through here to see who Andrew Paul takes over as our lead back. You have Justice Savage there, who's solid. He's more of the speedster. We're looking at the training here. Lacey continues to lead as Petway develops a bit. Look at Colbert down there. Jeremiah Colbert has 99 speed. That's crazy. Didn't think. Oh, Petway has 99 change of direction and 99 agility, but we have a 99 speed receiver down there. Might have to get him involved. As Polk has kind of taken the lead at tight end. Not a ton of development on the offensive line. Now going to the ends here, taking a look at the defensive line. Not seeing a whole lot of jumps. Alameen and Hughes, I mean, we'll take that. 78 and 77 respectively at the linebacker spot. You got Carter there at corner, an 80 overall, but not a whole lot of people jumping up there.
That's not going to.
Fred Perry and Watkins looking good at the safety spot, but again, not a lot to write home about for the training. The training updates there for Jacksonville State, kind of disappointing. Wanted to see a little bit more there. Let's see what the training results are for East Carolina, however. So we look here. Get to him. I went to Eastern Michigan. Hauser, Peyton Hauser, has surpassed Garcia by a considerable margin. That's kind of surprising. Garcia, the senior QB, I knew Hauser was probably our future starter, but wow. Let's take a look here, man. Short accuracy, mid accuracy up a point, throwing the run a little bit better. Look at that, throw under pressure. That's where a lot of the separation is. Garcia's a better athlete, but man, Hauser overtaking Garcia, that's kind of crazy. Like, I expected Garcia to come back and repeat here. Then you got Marlon Gunn Jr., who looks like, look at Engelman, though. Like, look at Engelman's agility and change of direction. 99, 98 speed. Like, of course, so well, I didn't expect anything less from him. The rest of our receivers here has some developing to do, but Sowell an 83 overall. As we kind of take a look at the rest of the receivers here, not a lot to write home about though. The Serial Rouse at the tight end, he's probably gonna be that second go-to man. And looking at the offensive line, ooh, that center needs work. Again, just like JVILLE State, doesn't look like anything too much going on in development of the offensive line. Defensive line really didn't get too much development. But keep in mind, I brought in some guys that didn't get to go through the training as well. Take a sip of the C4 there. But yeah, I mean, there are some surprises right there for sure. That Caden Hauser, that was pretty crazy. Guess we'll see a little bit more of that when we go and do the depth chart and everything. But I'm gonna go upgrade some coaching skills here. We got 50 points to spend. I can't remember what I had the development set on. I want to say it's like fast or something like that. Like when the very first Dynasty I did, I think I had it on as slow as it can go because I try to, make these things interesting, try and make them last, but I wasn't getting no development. So I think I had switched it to like normal or something like that, and still, like I wasn't getting it any points at all. Not really. So like by the end of the season, I was getting like maybe 15, 20 points. So I'm like, man, I switched it to, I think, fast. I'm not sure. I have to go look, but just adding some points, upgrading the skill points here for both sides here. Mostly going into recruiting. As you can see, I didn't even do any because during the season, I really didn't develop. Like, I didn't go develop my coaches. I kind of stashed all the points to the end of the season. Now we're going to go in here and start leveling up some recruiting options here. You see, we're doing a lot of running back and offensive line stuff because in this option attack, those are two of the most important positions out there. So, and as I stated, in the future, I will be doing some conference stuff, but we're not doing that right now. That's still a couple years away in the future before I do some realigning. But that's definitely something I want to do. So you will see that happen down the road for sure. But right now, we're going to go in and work on the schedules here. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise. There's something, I don't know, somebody working on something or mowing or something like that outside. So If you hear that, I apologize. My neighborhood is fairly quiet most of the time, but have dogs and stuff next door on both sides. But with the schedules here, kind of going through the schedules, we're not going to really do too much there. I like how the schedules are set, for now. Again, in the future, we'll be doing more scheduling stuff and things like that. But right now, we're getting into some recruiting here, starting with the Pirates. Just kind of seeing what we need, and we need a lot. Looks like running back. Not sure about quarterback, but let's take a look here and see who's interested. We only got like two first place guys, which is kind of disappointing. But looking at the QB, see who's interested there. As right now, we got Hauser, who will be probably our starter for at least the next 2 years. But after that, it's kind of up in the air um, on who will take over at quarterback. I'm not the type that wants to go out and just recruit a ton of quarterbacks every season. It has to make sense, but there's going to be times where you might see a potentially or a high level 4 or 5 star player that you want to go out and get at a position that you don't necessarily need, but it's hard to deny that, especially if they're like first or second place. But here we're gonna go ahead and add some guys. We got getting some getting some good interest from some 4 stars here. Which I mean, we're not the best team in the nation, but we managed 7 wins, and we're East Carolina. We're in the Carolinas, so it's not the hottest bed for recruiting, but I think it's a solid place to get some recruits at. But there's a lot of competition over here. North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Clemson. It's a ton of competition over here. As you can see here, we're in desperate need for some corners, so we're adding them away here. It's a lot of guys that just have open availability. Screw it, we're gonna go after some of these guys here. I think I like Sexton and Bars. We'll go after Riggs, Leon. Probably taking a risk or a gamble going after these 4 stars, but I mean, let's see what we can do here. We might be able to hit a couple home runs. And with the athletes, I like to go ahead and add them. Like, it's never one thing that I notice, at least when I'm playing. I don't know, that like the athletes never have the need by them. Maybe it's because of the type of athlete they are. I don't know. But I just go ahead and add them if they're interested, and I move them around accordingly. Let's get a couple of these guys scouted here. Got a Jim, Maurice Cummings, right here, right outside linebacker. Another Jim with Braden Ritchie, a running back. 4 star Jim at that. I'm going to go after the GMs. Like, for me, if I recruit you and you're a GM, off top, you're getting a scholarship offer. I obviously haven't done that yet, but I'm going to go back and offer some scholarships there for those GM players for sure. We're finding a lot of GMs here. Terrell Jordan, another GM. And then as you can see, we had a bust there, but he's a 4 star bust. I typically still go ahead and offer them because for our school and the shape we are right now, a 4 star bust is pretty much a 3 star. And, we don't mind having any 3 stars. About 200 points left. Again, my recruiting, I think, how much points did I start off with? It says right there, 625. So Another GM, Jason Barnes, one of those corners that I want to go after. Let's see, he has looked like upper 80s in man coverage. Keelan Riggs, 77 man coverage. I don't run in the 3-3-5. I don't really run a lot of man to man, though. We're more of a zone heavy team. But again, if you're good enough, if your rankings are up there, if you're man to man, slot, whatever, I'm going to take you and we'll find a place on the squad for you for sure. Kind of rearrange the board here. I'm going to move Bars up. I think he's like, I don't know. I like want him like the most right now, I guess. And let's go to our JVILLE State recruiting board here. Get some players added. We don't need as much on offense, but as you can see on defense, we have a ton of needs on this Gamecock team. So let's go out and see. Man, we got a lot more first place guys over here than for East Carolina for sure. You see Callum at the quarterback, he's interested. Don't know if we'll add him because we really don't need a quarterback right now, but who knows? A lot of 3-stars that are interested in coming here, so that bodes well for us because I think right now, what are we, like a 2-star school or something like that? So having all these 3-stars want to come here is definitely a plus. I see a couple 4-stars right here. Barry Steinmetz, 4-star. I think so far he's the only 4-star, but hey, let's keep adding these guys here, see what we can do.
I do not want to see when she works her life.
And again, athletes, I like to just go add. Who's that? Goodwell. We're going to go ahead and put Goodwell on the board. See where that goes. Ventrice Doucette, we'll probably go ahead and put him on the board. Ventrice, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of scouting in here. We don't have quite as much points, or as many points, maybe I should say, in recruiting for JVILLE State, as we weren't as good of a team, of course, as the aforementioned Purple Pirates. But we're working with about 100 less points here. Johnny Cush, 3-star. Jim. That's what I like to see. Defensive tackle. As you can see, we got, good amount of defensive linemen on the board here. Corbin McWilliams. Hugh Humphreys, now that's a name. Hugh Humphreys. 3-star gym linebacker. And I don't like the term like, okay, Steinmetz, Barry Steinmetz, another linebacker. Like, I don't like the breakdown. This is just a personal bias of mine, but Ventrice, he's a bust, a 3-star bust. So he's like a 2-star. I don't know. We'll see if I go after him. James Anderson, another 3-star bust. Ekanim, Quincy Ekanim, Marquise Goodwin, Star Jim. Okay. Ian Cone, tight end, 3-star Jim. I think he's actually and we did put Calumet on the board. He's just a normal 3-star. But you never know with these quarterbacks because he might be okay. Nelson Malchi, Fries. You always want to do with the last name Fries on your team, but we only got we can't recruit anymore right now. But what I was getting at is I don't really like the term right outside linebacker, left outside linebacker, middle linebacker. I don't like that because, like, for me, it's like, just outside linebacker. You know, like they can play on either side. It doesn't have to be the left necessarily. It doesn't have to be the right, but just put outside linebacker and just let us as the player select where we want to play these guys. And now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna red shirt some guys here. Uh, get some red shirts going. Chair door. But as you can see, some of these freshmen's ratings here. With the fullback, I have to decide which one. They're the same overall, but considering as we like to run the ball and stuff with our fullback a lot, it's probably going to be based off of their athleticism as opposed to like their blocking traits. Oh, here. Mm. Jeffrey is faster, but we're gonna go ahead. We redshirt Jeffrey. We're gonna run with the other fullback for now. See how that goes. But as I was stating, in the middle linebacker, just put inside linebacker because I mean I don't know. Middle linebacker is a weird term for me now. Like I don't. I'm just kind of going on a tangent here about it, I guess. Right there, you can see we're a two-star school, as I thought here. Now let's go to the depth chart here. Get that in order. The moment of truth here. Zion Turner is still going to be our starting quarterback. Got Smoot. As you can see, he has some athletic skills. But I accidentally backed down. But we're going to go ahead and reorder it. Then I'll go and take a look and see if I like the reordering here. But Zion, man, he has. I don't know. He's talking about transferring, but we got him for another year. As we're looking at the backups, you see Goris there, who might be the best passer. Again, Paul's taking over as our bell cow back, but in this offense, there's a lot of different ball carriers. You got Justice Savage here, C.J. Campbell Jr. No doubt, both of these guys will probably see some carries, especially Savage. He's our new lightning to Andrew Paul's thunder to take the place of Anwar Lewis. Lacey's returning. The playmaker Petway is back. Sonderman is here. We got a decent crew of pass catchers here for sure. Polk, the redshirt freshman, is going to take over as the starting tight end, which I'm kind of shocked that he was able to jump over Barrick. Barrick spent a lot of time as our fullback last season. I don't know. Maybe I should move him back, or maybe I should have made him a fullback permanently. Our offensive line could definitely use some work, but as you can see here, we got some decent defensive linemen. I think Alameen might be a star for sure. Got Hughes, so the two outside linebackers might be where it's at for this team. Carter at corner, Mack, like we definitely. Watkins is already an 80 as a redshirt freshman, though. That's something for sure. But aside from that, we're pretty spotty in the secondary. I guess you could say we're spotty everywhere. But according to the ratings, as you see, Colbert, don't know. We might have a pretty deadly. Got Jeremiah Colbert, who has 99 speed and 97 acceleration. I think 95 change of direction. You got Petway with 99 agility and 99 change of direction. These two guys in the return game could do something. I don't know. Like looking at that Colbert guy, I might have to find a way to get him involved because, I mean, with speed like that, then you got another Wright over here, Dallin Wright, 99 agility and 98 change of direction. So, got some diamonds in the rough over here at the receiver spot for sure, some way, somehow. As you know, we're taking a look at Colbert once again here. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's looking scary out here if we can get the ball in some of these guys' hands. You guys know how excited I've been about Petway, but to have a guy like Colbert in there as well, that's kind of crazy. All right, let's go set some things up here for East Carolina. And that'll probably be the last thing we do here in this video. I normally like to do practice and kind of show you guys what the team is looking like. As you can see here, 83 overall, 82 offense, 84 defense, a little bit better. I believe we were like in the high 70s last season, so we've gotten a little bit better all the way around. But I would usually do practice and stuff like that, but we're already running into like an hour almost. So, with two teams, that's just kind of the risk you run. So we won't have time for that. That's something I'll kind of do on my own. And, once you guys see the guys that are playing starting the season, then you'll know, what I decided. But there's definitely a lot of work to be done. I acknowledge that for sure. When it comes to these videos and this content, there's a lot of videos I messed up on that didn't get put out that I actually had recorded. There are about 4 videos from last season that I didn't get to put out due to different reasons. But I'm learning here, learning on the fly, and I'm going to try to do a lot better. Again, I can't do them all, but I'll definitely do the best I can. But, we're getting this depth chart set up here. And here soon, I will see you guys for the start of season 2. And hopefully we can build off of the momentum we got with East Carolina. Things didn't go as well with the Gamecocks, but hopefully we can be better. But until then, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.